Morning, everyone. My name is Mighty Stream. I'm going to do your June the 10th just for today in a meditation. Hope you're doing well this morning. Okay. The title of the meditation is Changing Motives. When we finally get our own selfish motives out of the way, we begin to find a peace that we never imagined possible. That comes from the basic text, page 45. As we examine our beliefs, our actions, and our motives in recovery, we'll find that sometimes we do things for the wrong reasons. In our early recovery, we may have spent a great deal of money and time on people, wanting only for them to like us. Later on, we may find that we still spend money on people, but our motives have changed. We do it because we like them. Or perhaps we used to get romantically involved because we felt hollow inside and were seeking fulfillment through another person. Now, our reasons for romantic involvement are based in a desire to share our already rewarding lives with an equal partner. Maybe we used to work the steps because we were afraid we relapse if we didn't. Today, we work the steps because we want to grow spiritually. We have a new purpose in life today, and our changing motives reflect that. We have so much more to offer than our neediness and insecurity. We have developed a wholesomeness of spirit and a peace of mind that moves our recovery into a new realm. We extend our love and share our recovery with complete generosity. And the difference we make is the legacy we leave to those who have yet to join us. Just for today, in recovery, my motives have changed. I want to do things for the right reason, not just for my personal benefit. Today, I will examine my motives. Let's have a moment of silence followed by the we version of Serenity Prayer. Moment of silence now, please. Thank you. God, grant us the serenity to accept the things that we cannot change, the courage to change the things that we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Just for today, please and thank you. I appreciate this meditation because it's an even meditation. It's a meditation that um, allows us space and room to change without feeling condemned because we weren't where we needed to be, but we are definitely trying to get to where we ought to be today. And so what that means is that you might look up in the middle of a situation and find that your motives aren't pure, that your motives aren't what they typically are considered as being of goodwill. They're self-centered, they're selfish, right? The reason you're doing something is for your own personal benefit and trying to make it seem like it's benefiting someone else. You may look up and find yourself in that situation. I've done it. I can't even number how many times. I would get midstream into a situation and realize that I wasn't coming in with pure motives. A lot of times what can happen is that when you realize that, the energy you bring to the situation changes. And the reason why I found my energy would change is because there's this sense of shame or guilt. I realized, oh my goodness, I'm doing this and I'm not who I'm presenting myself to be in this situation. Full of goodwill, generosity. But on the back end of it, there's a selfish motive that I've discovered is there And I'm condemning myself for having that selfish motive. I'm looking at that and I'm like, oh, that's horrible. And why did I get into this again? Is it too late to retract? Is it too late to pull away because my motives have been revealed to myself as not being pure? And so my energy of engagement will change. So now instead of being high energy and excited about a situation, I find myself, I will start to be um, less engaged, showing a temperament of somberness, right? Not wanting to mislead or make someone think this is greater than what I even think it is, right? Or get too dependent on my energy or what I'm bringing to the table. And it could be finances. It could just be positivity, belief, right? I don't want them to get too dependent on that any more than they already have because I know I'm in it now and I don't want to be there. My motive is not right. And so a lot of times, as I said, once you discover that your motives are selfish, your energy about the situation changes because you're judging yourself about that, or you're ashamed of that, or maybe even embarrassed about it. Maybe you thought you were further along in this area than you actually are. So what do you do? What does a person do when you get midstream into a situation and find that here I am with all this time in the program and I'm still operating out of selfish motives? How do you handle that? And this is where being able to give ourselves room to grow and learn from our experiences, the good ones and the bad ones, is helpful. Because if you can solidify this experience in your mind as a place that you don't want to be and move through the awareness in a mature, responsible fashion, you will be able to learn from that and avoid it, hopefully, even in the future. It's not okay to mislead people. It's not. It's not okay to make them think something is there that isn't. They may be in a romantic relationship. And this is where being honest is going to be challenging, but it can be freeing as well. And I would suggest if it's a romantic situation or whatever, if it has a high risk level to it, where someone could really be devastated, right? That's probably something you need to run by your sponsor and have an honest discussion about how to proceed. Get another voice in your ear about how to proceed. That's just maturity. And we learn from it. We learn from it. And one of the benefits that comes as a result, right, as a direct result of improving our motives, right? Learning how to live out of a different realm of spirituality as far as what motivates us. If money is your motivation, you're probably going to have a lot of issues surrounding money where you find that your motives aren't pure. If a relationship is what you're seeking, love and intimacy, you're going to find yourself, or lust, actually, you're going to find yourself in situations that are going to be highly uncomfortable if your motives aren't pure, because these are other people's hearts and feelings that we're involving. These are high risk situations when we're involving other people's hearts and we're involving other people's finances, right? involving other people's children, getting in relationships that we have no good intent about, but the children are attaching themselves to us as though we're their surrogate parent, right? So there's some high-risk situations, but that doesn't mean that we need to stay in those situations. And it doesn't mean that we need to change all that energy that we were bringing because we felt guilty. Generally speaking, an honest heart-to-heart conversation about what you found out about yourself, if it's genuine, will touch the other person's heart. So here's the thing when it comes to recovery. We're all in a position where we can experience this new way of living. But how far we go into that new way of living from spiritual principles, how far we actually go into that depends upon us. There's people that have been clean forever and have never worked the steps with a sponsor and will tell you that they're doing pretty darn good without working the steps with a sponsor. You look at those same individuals, sometimes you see those patterns where their own selfish motives are still operative. These are things that can be cleared out of the way through working this program. Because this program is something that we receive it with the help of others and their goodwill, and we give it away to those that need help in a spirit of goodwill. And that's how the longevity of this program continues, is that as recovering individuals, we bring to the table the purest form of Narcotics Anonymous possible. And that is important, that we're always checking our motives, because other lives are dependent upon what energy we bring to this fellowship. My name is Mighty Stream, and it's okay to examine our motives today. I have a lot of motives I want to take a look at today, but I do it fearlessly. I'm not worried about what I'm going to find, and I'm excited about changing my motives and bringing them more in line with the spiritual principles of Narcotics Anonymous. My name is Mighty Stream. I've enjoyed talking to you today. I hope that you will have a beautiful day on purpose.